Hey guys, we are down here just waiting for Ammon Bundy's release. There's a bunch of people in the courthouse, a bunch of us outside now of the courthouse waiting, and his family has been taken into a room, his wife and kids, to see him, and the rest of us are going to wait outside, and it is a good day. I don't know where John is, but hopefully he will be going live soon. I'm going to turn this around for you guys. We got Carol here coming out, and Ammon and Lisa and the kids are reunited in a room. Alana and Ryan. What do you want to say, Ryan?
Say again?
What do you want to say? It's a good day to be a Bundy.
It's a good day to be a Bundy. It's a good day in America. Finally, a little bit more liberty, but we got a long way to go.
It's not justice, but it's a little bit of.
But it's a little bit of relief.
It's a little bit of relief. The boot is lifting off the face just slightly, right? So we got Neil Wampler here, faithful Neil, always here.
Yeah, we're back together again.
Oh, so nice. This is a good day. We got good people here. It's a good day to be a Bundy supporter.
Bundinista.
Yep. Bundinista. It's a good day. So Ammon's in there right now in that back room with Lisa and the kids. So set my stuff down here. Babies are playing. We have a lot of Bundy babies here. Sorry if I'm kind of shaky. I'm gonna put my purse over my shoulder. Got to free the Hammonds. Free Dwight and Steve Hammond. Good day.
They each get their special day.
We worked
Tomorrow
2 years for. This isn't a verdict in the case, but what this is this is some relief. We got Sean and Sandy Anderson over there on the flag. Sweetie, we got Gina and her crew here. This is something some of us have been fighting 2 years for, which is just for them to be granted bail. That's what we've been asking for, is that they would be granted bail so they could fight their case. The government wants to prosecute them, fine, give them their day in court and give them bail and give them a speedy trial, and they've been denied these things up until this point. That's really what got the rest of us, a lot of us involved who didn't own land. I'm gonna head in the courthouse right now because John was just calling and I missed his call, and let's see, hang on just a minute guys. Bear with me while I run through security. I did forget my jacket. Oh, here, still here. I cut it out. My coffee. No, not the coffee. All right, we're just gonna come in to see why John was calling and where is John Lamb. Good. Where is John? Have you seen John?
Probably still sitting in the cafe.
Well, he might be. I just missed his call. So down the hall in that door to the left is where they were reuniting Ammon and his family. John is not in here. John Lamb, if you're watching this live stream, you're gonna have to call me back. We got Ammon's attorney, Morgan Philpot. Morgan has done his job to keep this courthouse on their toes, filing motion after motion. They have not allowed the prosecution or the judge to rest. Rick Kerber and Morgan Philpot have been another key role in this. They helped get Ryan released. Everybody's screaming, I don't know why. Hi, everybody. It's just me. I'm like, is he out here already? What are they all cheering about? That's funny. I'm live streaming. Where's John? So I can shut mine off.
He's sleeping in the van because he's tired.
Oh, he's not.
Yes, he is. He says they're going to call him the minute they know.
Calling. He just called me, and
That's why he's calling that, because he's like, I'm resting.
Okay,
He's
so
just resting. and
I'll
he's
keep it
flying.
going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's sick. I'll keep it going until we've got Ryan over there with his baby. I have it over there, but I was getting hot. Just, I think, stress. Yeah. This is a good day. Good day. It's a long-awaited day. We've got Shauna Cox here and Neil. So we'll just keep this going. We got walking out anytime.
So I'm like, that was so. Oh, hello.
Hello, world. Oh, come on, don't hide. If the rest of us could be on cameras and.
I'm like, it's like.
So yeah, I don't know if anybody else. We've got Ken Rhodes and David Kleeman and a lot of really great people. A lot of good people. It's a good day to. It's a good day to stand behind Ammon Bundy. What do you say, Ken?
Not much. How are you doing, Kelly?
Good. Kelly has been released. That's so funny.
Kelly's been
I think he's gonna put on a cowboy hat, not a baseball cap.
Kelly's been released.
I thought John was in there because he was calling, and so I went in.
He was sitting in the cafe.
Yeah, I went and looked. He wasn't in there, but they said he went back to the car to lay down. Faithfully, Sarah drove all through the night. She left Idaho. I don't even know what time yesterday, and made it here at like 8:40 this morning. Remember John's tripod? Could you find me John's tripod? Could you see? He left it over there somewhere.
Down.
Or do you want to hold the camera so I can walk? Well, I guess I can walk. Never mind. I'll walk with it.
Thank you for keeping me so informed.
Yeah. Thanks.
How you doing?
Good. Do you know what happened to John's tripod? He left it out here somewhere.
Oh, no, you
Oh,
mean
here he comes. We got him.
that he's
John Lamb is in the house. Oh, is that yours? Well, whatever. The one he was carrying. I'm already live. Can I use that?
Yes.
Aren't you cold?
Not really. I'm from
John.
Washington. It's like summer weather here.
How about when
This
y'all
one gal
married?
from Columbus, she's been
I'm
following all the
absolutely.
stuff and
Oh,
everything.
no, I'm married.
She
No,
has,
he's
she
married
gave
too,
me
and I'm
a
married.
bottle of
A lot of
colonial
married people
silver
here.
for you.
Lewis, that's
Is
not
it
about-
okay now? It's
Yeah,
sealed
think
now. I
it
can get
is.
her phone number if you want to find out. She says it's the stuff. It's the. I didn't know there's all different kinds, but it's the stuff that you can take a lot of. But it's supposed to knock out bacteria and viruses.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like an antibiotic. So anyway, I've got a bottle of that for you, and I'll get her phone number, and you can contact. I'll have you talk to her so she knows what type it is and everything. It might clear you up.
Colloidal silver is a good. There we go. Now it is shaky. In front of all these people who oftentimes do not tell the truth, and usually only show up when there's a story they can twist. I'm going to step right over to them because after all, we're the cheerleaders of this story. We're walking through these doors any minute. Although, now we're going to turn it over here to Stalker Sarah. Although I think Lisa and the kids might. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm not good at this media thing. Lisa and the kids might just. So we even have guards. Hi, good to see you. Look at this guard over here. He's recording us on his phone, which is hilarious. He just wants to have the videos. He knows Ammon's a hero too. Deep down
Ammon Bundy supporter. So I don't know if you guys remember, but when the verdict came in for the second trial, first group, the second time round, right here along the wall, I'll post the picture later, there was an entire wall of police, the Homeland Security. So it's kind of awesome today to not have that, even though Ammon Bundy is being released, because here's all our non-trial colors.
Plus, it gives them an opportunity to kind of like testify.
Yeah, you would think if these guys had actually ever been a threat, there'd be a whole world of police. But look who they'd be watching. They'd be watching babies, mothers, proud Americans. No flags are not allowed up here. They adamantly keep flags out of the top of this area, and today they are not going to go. Alright, so I'm going to leave this here and let it go. And when he comes out, he's going to come out with his family. These are smart, they'll just sneak out the back door and get out of here. Morning. We're waiting for Ammon Bundy. After 2 years of being denied release, he's finally getting out before trial. Google Ammon Bundy. good. So he held off on the live stream. And again, here's our media cameras show up.
He's good.
Well, she's good. He's good too.
What's good about this bunch of attorneys? They're all working together. They're not just working for their clients. They're all working together.
They're kicking some serious government butt. Serious government butt.
Are you last one?
Yeah. I'll turn it and we'll run. Somebody said Michelle was getting over.
There was one here last night.
Yeah.
Who that guy
That's what Michelle.
was. We thought he was going to get.
Hello, how you doing, Kelly? Yeah, I flew in this morning. I'm flying out tonight. I just wanted to be here for this.
We thought they were.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too. I was first I was in Minnesota, then I was in Denver, and then by the time I got to Denver, I realized it was going to be today, so I knew I was going to make it. No, I got to make it through a checkout. Getting overseas yet.
Oh.
I'm putting a bag over my head.
This week's been excellent. Almost every day they've had 3/4 of a day just to dress up. Just come out.
Yeah, because they keep fighting. The attorneys keep fighting.
There's something that I would like to address, though, is I believe that since a public official such as Kelli Reed declared them as domestic terrorists, I think that he should be on the stand and letting us know who his information sources were to publicly call these patriots domestic terrorists.
That was a nice thing.
Well, he's a senator that publicly called these men, and all we want to know is who's his sources. Where's his information sources? I think that'd be the fastest way to getting this trial shut down is to get get the people talking about getting Harry Reid on.
We really can't even get Daniel P. Luck.
Yeah, can't even get yeah, right.
He's the one who started all this crap.
Well, I don't know. Did somebody start it for him? I mean,
Well, he was following orders.
somebody gave him the authority to do what he did.
Right, he's following orders.
So that's the person we need to find out is who's the one that assigned him to do what he did.
Right.
And how close did he follow orders, or did he deviate from the orders that he was given?
I think he deviated a lot.
And
I'm sure
people
too.
can ask them,
But he was allowed.
Yeah.
why did it come out? How did they get released? What happened? Did the judge just have a change of heart? No, that did not happen.
They got caught in too
They
many
got
lies.
caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
You know, it all started when Ryan was hitting him back and forth with the Constitution. Ryan just beat him up with the Constitution.
They've all been filing
Yeah.
and working on non-stop. Sometimes they're like, give it a rest. They're like, oh, we're going to file this, we're going to file this. And it seems pointless, but it really does wear the prosecution down because the judge has to answer every single motion that's presented.
And it's public record.
It's public record. Well, a lot of them.
It should be public
A lot of them
record.
have actually been sealed.
Once this is over with, it shouldn't be sealed.
Yeah, but you should go over here.
Is it picking me up in front?
I can turn it around.
Okay.
Here, but I just don't want to miss it when he comes out. Here, let me look at this fancy tripod of David Fleeman's. Here, I'll show you guys David. David's awesome. Got guards inside moving around. It looks like, hold up just a minute because the guards in here
You see that on the inside?
Yeah, he's standing right inside the door. The officers on the phones. I have a feeling they're going to come out and
Well,
us move. That's kind of my guess. Roomsy, we love our roomsy.
For all of you are listening today, I'm going to tell you, I've seen the best attorneys in these trials so far. Morgan Philpot, which everybody, I donated a few dollars to him, and he still needs money donated if you want to go to AmmonBundyDefense.com. Because he's down here, he's not charging, he just needs a place to stay and do his job. He's doing an excellent job, and I'm not just saying, the rest of them are being paid. I think he's the only one that's not being paid.
Well, Morgan and Rick have to work on combinations between the two of them. They have to whatever they can raise for the last year of their work, and these other attorneys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh,
These
yeah.
guys are hoping that they can pay their mortgage each month.
Right. So if anybody got extra money, it'd be nice.
Yeah, AmmonBundy.com.
Is it AmmonBundy.com?
Oh, BundyDefense.com.
Is it what it is?
Yeah, BundyDefense.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he is a good attorney. I've talked to him several times. But when I want to know what's really going on, I go talk to him. Real pops.
Yeah, and you know, Ammon and Ryan and Cliven have all had their fair share of protesting throughout this. Other people haven't understood. And just because you don't understand
something doesn't make it wrong what's happening, and they've protested the injustice. And you know, if you look back in history, the ones who bring change are the ones who protest the things that are wrong that are happening in this country. The ones who protest usually have to suffer. Suffering has to happen in order for protests to typically be effective. I'm just trying to watch inside here because I see movement. So the protesting, while some people haven't understood it, it's been necessary. It's been necessary to bring about change, and we've stood behind them faithfully, and we are so proud of them, all of them, every one of the guys, even the guys who haven't protested within the jails. Just them sticking this out and not moving forward with plea deals and not signing forms that say they did something that they did not do. Those men are still heroes. Everybody who showed up is a hero, but some were able to stand longer than others.
Ryan's kids are all here. Ryan is going to be going home today. Ryan Bundy has been able to come and go from his house. Starting today, he will be able to stay at his house, live there if he wants full time, even during trial. He can come and go from the house he has here in Vegas to stay at. So today is a good day. Angie is at home right now with pretrial services, getting the house approved, which is awesome. Cliven is not getting out right now, but don't you guys worry.
What happened to your
Cliven and Mal and Davey and Jason Wills and Joe O'Shaughnessy will be out. Lisa's inside now with Ammon and their babies, all their children.
Well, it's just like
they're inside in a concealed room right now.
And they're going back. I wonder if they're going back to that back.
Bran does need to blow his shofar. Bran can't bring the shofar up here, can he? I think he has to sit on the steps.
No, bow and arrows aren't allowed up here.
Bow and arrows. Is that what they called it? They
called
say
it a bow out of prison.
So Ammon will be released to talk loud. Okay. Ammon will be released not to a halfway house, but to a family member's home here in Vegas. to a family member's house here in Vegas where he'll be on house arrest. Ryan Bundy will be allowed starting today to go home full time. Ryan Payne has been released from Nevada, but Oregon has a hold on him. As soon as Judge Brown gets that signed, Ryan Payne will be released, and we're lining up the house that has been graciously offered up. A family has offered to take in Ryan Payne, and so that's getting approved right now. And let's see, good things are in the works for the last group. Don't you guys think that they're going to just sit in there and be forgotten about? Biden's protest is not in vain. And hopefully in the next day or two, we're going to be getting the information that we can release on that. So just know that the things are in the works, and the attorneys are getting their motions filed to be released for the last tier, which is Dave and Mal Bundy, Joe Shaughnessy, and Jason Woods. And so good things are happening. This case is completely falling apart. The government has been lying. Big surprise. And we all know.
Hey, what's going on with this?
Go ahead and read the rules and regulations around here. I don't think
Oh, I was the other way. Okay, I guess I gotta ask him. Is the camera straight? Is the camera straight back? Because it flipped on me.
The government
Video sideways right now. They're saying the video's sideways right now. So, okay. Is it straight up and down now?
The government has been lying. Chief has been falling apart in the courtroom, getting caught in his own lies. The reports that they filed to keep these guys detained this entire time has proven to be false, which is the threat assessment has proven to be falsified, which means the judge said the reason that she was holding them were now not truly issues, and so she was granting their release. Now, did she have a change of heart? No, absolutely not. Plug in my battery here real quick so I don't die on you guys. Let's see. Up and going when Ammon Bundy is released in a minute. So we would not be surprised if there was a mistrial or the case was dismissed. Once the last tier gets an approval for release, then we will know more about how determined the government
Well, now it's more involved.
is going to be.
My turn.
Hey, Braxton, bring mine too,
Ready
okay?
to whip up
Yeah, I heard I'll tell you what. Okay, it's on my list. I flipped it back and forth, and everybody keeps saying it's right. Yeah. What I'm going to do. How much time do they have?
Patriots, vultures. Just call them what they are. The media used to be the guard dog of the people, and it has become the lapdog of the government. The media used to be the guard dog of the people, but it has become the lapdog of the government. That's a quote I got from David Fry.
Is Dave Fry still free?
David Fry is still free.
Well, that's good.
He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. So is Greg Morrison, too.
Greg Burleson is a good guy. He unfortunately said some things he shouldn't have, and the government used it to paint a picture of him that
Greg was a celebrity.
definitely Ammon Bundy out there, she's hopeful that the motions that they're just working on them released very soon. You know there's probably a part of them that does not want to walk through those doors. After the long fight he's had, he's got to just be... He's got to just be exhausted. The food conditions, the solitary confinement, the sexual assaults, strip searches, all of these things Ammon Bundy has endured and protested and suffered through because he believes that some things are more important than your life, and freedom is one of them. While he may submit to an authority abusing him, he's not going to give over his consent. His consent is all he has to hold on to. And he's definitely been a prisoner of war this last 2 years. There is an absolute war going on in the state. And Ryan Ammon Bundy and Mel and Dave, Pete Santilli, Joe Shaughnessy, Jason Woods, Michael McGuire, they're all American heroes and patriots that stood up for the Constitution and were willing to do whatever it takes.
Hey Brad, can you give me a tour of the station maybe?
Whatever it takes. It's not a threat. It's a statement of determination and conviction. When you believe in something, you do whatever it takes. All right, I'm gonna walk away for a minute. You guys are tired of listening to me anyway.
And I was driving away. I'm thinking, like, man, I can't drive back. We have one.
waiting. Ammon Bundy is inside with his family, his wife, and his 6 babies. Sarah Redbuck drove all throughout the night last night with Kelli Inman, and they faithfully got Ammon and Lisa's 6 kids. Here, they drove literally all through the night. Most of them are extra people are all out back there just kind of hanging out, letting the kids run around.
Cincinnati's just a different field. Got
our vultures here.
It's a different, like,
That dog is the government.
Toledo's the smaller Toledo.
And then
a lot smaller.
Patriots, Ammon is in with his wife and his babies. They're just here hanging out.
That's my picture.
Some of Andrew's kids. Those are Brianna and Mel Bundy's kids. Sean and Sandy Anderson over there, and Carol Bundy and Shauna Cox. Good group of people here waiting for Ammon's release, and his attorneys inside. And we are just here waiting. Yes, we definitely want a dismissal. I know, you guys, like, I've been wanting, here I'll see, I don't know if you can see me, but I've been wanting to do our what do we want justice, when do we want it now, but I haven't done it. I'm losing my courage to be the loudmouth of the group. So, I guess maybe after Ammon comes out, we'll do. Hey, how's it going?
One of the DHS people wanted to let us know that he actually didn't care about us being all here. He just wanted us to take some of the stuff off the camera people and the flags just back down. And the people that were here just being like the path.
Where's the path need to be? These people here?
These people here, they just wanted to know if they could make a little stupid to get through.
Oh yeah, so we just need to push these people here. Real media. They're saying that Homeland Security actually wants everybody down off the steps, which is just ridiculous. People have gatherings up here all the time. That's okay. Then the people from the street can see. They go in and talk with attorneys and see how it's going. See if we can't get a timeline.
Hi, my name is Sister Grifter Wife. It's gonna be a little bit, guys. I don't know if we should just keep the live stream going. It could be like. Yes.
Do not, if you can see the actual security, I don't think you can, but if you can, then move back so you can't, okay?
You can't see.
Okay, okay. Meaning we don't want the security process inside filmed.
Oh, no, you can't. There's
okay.
so just a complete reflection on the doors.
Okay, thanks.
We should.
I wouldn't want to expose anything that goes on. Okay, they say keep it going. Wait, so we're gonna just keep it up. It might be 10 or 15 minutes, but hopefully I'm correct. Yep, I got 3 bars on my backup battery. Thank you, Gavin Syme, for always telling me to have backup batteries. So we got a little cluster of Taralee and Lily. And over there we've got some Homeland Security now. So every time I turn it, they're right there behind Sandy. Looks like there's just maybe 3 of them, and then Neil Wampler.
They'd like to beat somebody down.
Still got our vultures hanging out. Supporters, John Lamb is back there on the wall. Gina and her family.
Hey, who's your dad?
We have Ryan Bundy's daughter.
Oh, right, okay. I knew you was a
Awesome. Awesome chick.
I didn't know if you
Awesome chica.
Almonds or Ryan. Either one could be a good dad.
Tell everybody what you're excited about having a man in the house again. What were you saying is going to be different?
Oh, all our knives are gonna be sharpened for once.
That's awesome. What else?
And hopefully he can help me heat my room up. My room is so cold.
It's so cold.
So cold at night.
The place you guys moved into, is it? It doesn't have like a centralized heating system.
Yeah, but it doesn't get to my room.
Because it was like an addition, right? The garage was converted or something into.
Yep.
Maybe it's because you're evil and the heat stays out of there.
Daddy's going to sharpen knives for her and help her
So
get
are you,
heat
13?
to the back of her room.
Huh?
Are you 13?
I'm 18.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, no wonder her room stays cold. She's running another lie. Are you really?
I really am.
Jamie. Cheryl over there with her grandbabies.
Yeah.
Being with her grandma. Just keep it on some of the quarters. Everybody's kind of dispersing a little bit. They made all the flags go down onto the steps while we're waiting. And then they wanted some of the people to kind of clear out a little. Holly's still acting. No. Jeanette's a Finicum, so she's a fighter, a strong woman. Trying to fill big shoes of little boys, but I think she's doing awesome.
Oh yeah, because she lets him do everything. He says what he says what he
She kind of works.
It's up there. She lets him.
Yeah, a lot of work left to do. If you guys want to go to bundydefense.com and donate to the people who fought for this release to happen for these guys. If you guys only knew what these attorneys do around the clock for these defendants, the things that we see happening out here is a direct result of what they're doing in there. And so it's important we support them.
How come I can't do this? You know, he asked for money. Yeah, keep asking for it.
That's my dad.
Trial release today for Ammon Bundy, Ryan Payne, hopefully on Monday, and hopefully at the same time, Cliven and the next tier.
if all goes well in the courtroom. Of course, there's a few hoops to jump through, but if they're letting out Ammon and Ryan Bundy, don't you think they're going to hold on to that last group for very long?
I know, I'm like, Grandpa.
This group here is going to fight tooth and nail in those courts to get them out. Tatted up Homeland Security dude. Woo. This is sliding down on me. Hang on. Kelli, please speak up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try. Chris, I hope they're not being set up too. That's crossed my mind a lot. The government does not like to lose, and they know they're losing in the courtroom, and it has crossed my mind. Who is this Ammon Bundy? Trisha, Ammon Bundy, you can Google him. You can Google Bunkerville and learn more. You can go to YouTube and look up Gavin Syme for Liberty. He did the Bundy story. Google the Bundy story on YouTube, and that's going to be the quickest and best way for you to learn about the Bundy story, the lands rights issues that they've been battling with the Bureau of Land Management for 20 years now, and ultimately their false incarceration they've suffered through nearly 2 years of. You can also Google the Hammonds to learn more about their plight. It's very similar to the Bundys, only they're in Harney County, Oregon. Thank you, Becky. Becky Hudson is the wife of a political prisoner, Michael Emery. He also went to the refuge and was later incarcerated for his activities there. And he's still incarcerated today. Go to Free Michael Emery on Facebook. So you want to learn more about his plight and his story. He's got lots of political prisoners.
It can be in the States or
Across this country for standing up. We've got Jeff Winehouse. You can Google his story. He was actually running for the town coroner, which is the only position that's supposed to be able to actually trump even the sheriff. And he was exposing corruption in his town in Missouri. And he was set up, had a meeting with some police officers. As soon as he got out of his car, he was shot 3 times, twice in the face, once in the shoulder. And then he was charged with attempted murder of a police officer. And the whole thing was recorded on his phone watch, his watch camera, and it was not allowed in court to be played. And he's serving out, I think, a 30-year sentence. He's 5 years into it. So Google Jeff Winehouse. You can also Google Schaefer Cox, another political prisoner who was set up. There's lots of good people that are sitting in prison because they stood up for their fellow neighbor and did what was right, which is what this country used to be known for. See, we used to be the home of the free because of the brave, but the brave is so few and far between. We're now home of the slave because of the coward. And so the more people who stand up and refuse to be apathetic in the face of tyranny, the more people who put their life on the line for liberty, the more our freedoms are given back to us. We've lost those. We've given them up. We've said it doesn't matter. Football's more important than our freedoms. Lavoy Finnecum went to the wildlife refuge to defend the Hammonds. Most of that true story did not get out because of the vultures like these right here. They told lies about what they were doing at the wildlife refuge. They didn't expose the videos of the BLM lighting people's ranches on fire and showing the true reason that drove Ammon Bundy and even Shauna Cox. many others to go to the refuge on public lands and to defend the Hammonds and really the rights of all people in this country. The media didn't really show you guys what was going on, so only those who really sought it out found the truth. And in the end, the boy Finnecum was shot. You know what's interesting is that the day before,
sorry, I'll turn around. The day before the ambush at the refuge, there were some people here a couple weeks ago I met with that said they're missionaries across the country, and the day before you can't hear me? I'm sorry, I'll come closer. The day before the occupation ambush, there were people across the country reporting that Ammon and Ryan Bundy had been killed. And the family members who heard that called home because they're from Oregon and asked if that was true, and the family told them no, that there had not been an ambush and Ammon and Ryan had not been killed. And they're 8 hours ahead of us, and then the next morning or 8 hours later they got the news that Lavoy had been killed and that Ryan had been shot and that they had all been ambushed on a back road. So what any of that means, I don't know. I haven't dug into it and actually looked up the information, but I do know that 2 days ago a reporter put out a story saying that the charges were dismissed. I didn't know if you want to just say hi again.
Oh, on your camera, huh?
Yeah, no, over here. It's turned around.
Oh, okay.
And so it does make you wonder how much is premeditated and how much they know about ahead of time. I was talking about a story that was done on the 27th, 3 days ago, saying that all charges were dropped and that you guys were released. And John Lamb sent it to me through Facebook, and he messaged the person and said that that was a lie, and they were telling lies, that the Bundys had not been released. And he said, I have it confirmed, they are released, and there was a full dismissal. And then the next morning, the sealed hearing happened, and it was told that everybody would be released. And so, you know, when this kind of stuff happens, it makes you start to wonder who was leaking information, who already knew the motions that had been filed. You know, how much of what happens in the court is already planned before you even sit down before the judge and she starts reading all her denials, and you think, wow, she had that really prepared. I don't know if she listened to our arguments at all. So that's really weird. On the 27th, this guy did this YouTube video.
Yeah, where was he getting his information? That's interesting. I'd like to see that dismissal. So
yeah, well, and maybe that was part of the plan, and for whatever reason it didn't work out, or it's still in the works. But you know, I was telling the viewers how the day, 8 hours before you guys were ambushed, people across the country were getting reports that that you and your brother had been killed at the refuge. And so these people had called home, and then they called home to there's Josh, and learned that didn't happen, but then 8 hours later there was an ambush. So it just makes you feel like there's more things at play here, and there's somebody up there pulling some strings, making us think that things are just, you know, just happening.
You wonder who the master puppeteer is, huh?
Yep, it does.
That's a nice thought, though, if they dismiss all the charges.
Do you think that could happen?
You know what, especially at this point, yes, because there's more and more evidence mounting against them. That would be the wise thing to do. Where'd who? I don't know. That'd be the wise thing to do, because it's just creating a greater embarrassment for the government. If the further we go, the worse it is going to be for them.
Yep. Are you glad you protested all the way and continued sticking by your convictions, even though it made you suffer longer in jail?
You know, we've always said we'll do whatever it takes, and this is part of what it takes.
Yep.
You know, and you know, you only have what rights you're willing to claim, use, and defend. And there comes a time when you have to defend, and that if you're not willing to defend, then you'll lose them. Well, this has been a long, drawn-out process of defending our rights.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, otherwise we'd be gone already.
Yep.
So
If you give up your rights, it becomes a privilege, right?
Yep.
That's
why they wouldn't give up consent.
Your rights, and we'll make it a privilege. Make you feed 10 cows now instead of 100.
you're right. And it's that's the difference between a right and a privilege is when you have the right to do something, you do not need to ask anybody. You own that. It's yours. And so a privilege, on the other hand, you must get somebody's permission. So
Look, Josh Martinez. I keep telling people Josh is a Hispanic Ammon or Ryan Bundy.
I'll have to get to know him better myself. I've met him and heard about him, but I don't know him well.
Well, I look up to you guys and everything y'all did. It was an inspiration. Woke me up in different areas, and especially in the condition of our country. I know it's the court system that we know that's in the Constitution has been hijacked.
Yes.
It's no longer a court of the common law. It's now a court of corporations and interest of the rich and the elite. We the people have allowed them to condition us to believe that we no longer have rights. We have privileges. And our system is confused. And they teach us that privileges and rights are one and the same, but a right, by definition, is having the sovereign free authority to do something because there's no one of higher authority to get permission from. A privilege is temporary authority granted by someone of higher authority. Yes. Okay, so if there's ever a dispute over who has rights to what, identify the owner and the question answers itself.
That's right.
You said we all have a right to defend our property. All the rights we have derive from property. If you have no property, you have no rights. Our right to life comes from our body, which is our number one form of property. Mm-hmm. If somebody else owns my body, then I'm a slave.
And that's what they're trying to say is the case. Yeah. And that's not the case. I'm not their subject. I'm not their serf. I'm not their slave.
Right.
No, it's because I can't turn it. Sorry, guys.
No,
I was trying to rotate it so.
It's getting a little bit narrow there.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome standing here talking to you and talking about the things that I love most. I mean, once I expressed my love for the Constitution and the love for freedom, I mean, work has become different. I mean, personal life is, people look at my personal beliefs as radical and extreme. But then I say, well, if you think I'm extreme, read the words of our founding fathers. If you think I'm extreme, look at how they spoke about property rights. Look at how they spoke about defending those property rights. And if they were alive today saying those same things.
We're at.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'm trying to bring Gavin on. Hang on. Gavin, I just invited you, so hit accept. There you are. Hey, look. Okay, come in the camera. We can all be together for just a second. There we are.
About that.
Gavin, you're sideways.
I'm sideways.
How are
No,
you
it's
doing,
because you're that's sideways. It's me that was correct. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, right. It's good to see
Buenos
you, Gavin.
dias. Yeah, good to see you, Ryan. I'm so glad you're out. Is Ammon and the other guys out there yet?
Good to see you. So it's good to be on the outside rather than inside those concrete cells.
I'll say, my gosh, it's been way too long.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, that's great.
Mexico.
What's the status of Ammon and the other guys?
Well, Ammon is supposed to be coming out. It's taken off a long time, but supposedly he's coming out this morning. The other guys, Ryan Payne was released as far as paperwork goes, but physically he's still being held because of the hold on him in Oregon. So they're trying to get it cleared with Judge Brown in Oregon to release him. My father, he declined to be released upon conditions because anyway, he says, when I come out of here, I'm going to be a free man. I'm not going to be subject.
Yeah, I saw that, and I commend him for for just saying I'm not going unless everybody goes. It's a tough thing, but we need as many of you guys out here as possible. So it's been a tough message to keep going for the past 2 years.
Well,
amen to that, Gavin.
I cannot see the court's ability to hold any of the other guys at this point. I would suspect within the next few days, if not this week, next week that Mel, Davey, Shaughnessy and Woods will also be out. I just can't see them holding them any longer.
Right.
And then also, I would even suspect that Todd Engel will be out because the judge mentioned Todd, not by name, but by status, and realized that she kicking him out of the courtroom back in his trial and taking his pro status away was wrong. She didn't realize that till yesterday, after it came to light the government's lies, and now she realized that her own order of limine was incorrect, and that Todd Engel's need to speak about the snipers was proper, and so she recognized the folly there, and I think that in that Todd Engel's conviction will now have to be overturned, probably
Right.
Greg Burleson's as well, being that he was in that same trial.
Right.
But I can't see them holding Todd, especially any. I bet he's out next week.
Well, I hope so.
That would
I mean,
be awesome.
We just need to make sure everybody gets out and stays out, and that we have. Ryan, there's just been so few voices out here to hold the narrative. I mean, there's a lot of good old boys, making a show of it, I guess I would say. But there's not been a lot of strength out here from a core group of us that have stood, and I'm just so proud of everybody out here that stood, and the way you guys have just held your own in there. It's really been something. But it's been burning my soul for the past 2 years. So,
thank you. There's still a lot of question as what will happen to those who actually took pleas. The problem with the plea is by their own admission they're guilty, and that's a terrible thing. I just do not understand that in the least degree, why someone would admit to something that is not true. To me, that now creates a liar out of them.
It's hard. I mean, Ryan, what I've realized out here, especially the past couple years, is people have different strengths, and I don't. It's concerning. I don't like where people are at because they've pled out, but they have a gun to our head. I mean, they're saying, "Hey, are you guilty? Are you guilty? Are you guilty?" And finally, people say, "Yeah, fine, I'm guilty." And this is what third world justice looks like.
Yeah. And I certainly don't abandon them. I more or less feel sorry for them. I hope that things are able to be reversed in their self-convictions. I just think it's going to be more difficult than for those who were convicted while they were actually fighting and claiming their innocence, such as Todd Engel and Greg Burleson. I certainly feel sorry for those,
Yeah, I know.
Santelli's not here. Pete Santelli should be having his camera up here today. He's not here. Jerry DeLoomis is not here. Anyway, these guys aren't here. I feel bad for that, but
it's just crazy. Anyway. It's crazy. Kelly, keep an eye on Josh back there. There's cops near him, and you know how they like to abuse him.
Kelly's back there too. So.
Oh, she's back there
too. Got me alone right now.
they left you there. Yeah, but Ryan, I don't know. It's really become apparent the past couple years how completely inundated the USA is with this, because it's not just patriots, it's not just any group or faction. I mean, our prisons are filled with people, and it's interesting because we've been down here visiting Mexico, and even though our Constitution is better, right? Our Bill of Rights is better. It's more sound. It's more articulated. It's more affirmed, and yet our courts completely ignore it. And it's very different. I'm not in any way trying to say it's perfect down south, but it's different because the government still seems to fear the people down here, and that's what we seem to have lost in the States. Is we've become so awash in government is good, uniforms are good, they're protecting us, that it's kind of destroyed our sense of independence and principled disobedience.
Well, it's always been said by, when the government fears the people, there's liberty, and when the people fear the government, there's tyranny. And we've been in fear of the government for a long time. Tyranny's been rearing. So, anyway, hopefully that'll hopefully that'll change again. But
I hope so. Yeah. So, are you getting to go home, Ryan? Then maybe this has been addressed already, and I'm just coming in late. But are you getting to go home? Or are you staying in a house there in Vegas? Or
well, I'm going to be back and forth.
Right,
I'll
but you get to be
go
with your
home.
family. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and the house I stay in is with some cousins, so they're family too.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'll be able to go back and forth. You know, I'm still not free. I'm still imprisoned with this ankle bracelet. It's just that the conditions of my confinement are less, are not as as bad as in jail. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it must be surreal in a way to be outside after all this time, because I know even from my short stints here and there that it really affects you, and what you guys, the stands you guys have made with the strip searches and all this stuff. I mean, it must just be a very surreal feeling to be out here and walking around in the open air.
It does feel good. It does feel good. So
yeah.
I will say that.
So what's next, do you think, Ryan?
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
It's hard to foresee the future. But, we can't stop. There's still a lot of other prisoners who are wrongfully imprisoned.
Absolutely.
We can't forget them. I mean, I'm not talking the ones in our case. I'm talking other cases, other people. There's lots of them. And we need to not forget them. I keep thinking there needs to be a blanket recovery rather than individual.
Because it's too many individuals.
One at a time just takes too long.
It'll take a million years, and that's what that's what's frustrating me, is like, we get our people out, and for every person that we have that we love that's in there, there's 1,000 others that we don't even know. And my problem, Ryan, is I feel like even the people that have done bad things, right? Let's say they're charged with a real crime. When we look at what a charade the courts are, none of them are getting due process. And so are they even guilty, right? Let's say the man that's been convicted of some kind of a violent crime, we don't even know anymore if he's guilty because the courts are such a sham.
Well, I can tell you, the saying that I've heard all my life is that it's better to let 100 guilty men go free than it is to wrongfully imprison one. Now, I thought, okay, well, occasionally that probably happens to where an innocent man is wrongfully imprisoned. But after being in here and seeing and participating and witnessing for myself, there are actually hundreds that are innocent who are imprisoned. And that's an atrocity. That's so shameful for America to be participating in. That has to stop. That has to turn around. Over and over again, I see cases, I meet people and hear their stories and just cannot believe what the government has done to them. I guess I can, because they're doing the same thing or similar things to us, where they make up stories, create stories that they are indicting people on, calling them criminals when no crime has been committed. Anyway, running them through these court systems that take years, and they're imprisoned a lot of times during that time frame. It's just horrible.
It's terrible.
That's not what America should be about. I'm tired of it.
I'm tired of it too, and I just not. We just have to stop tolerating it. And the problem is, I see a people. We've been sold safety and security so much that the government will say, "Look, we arrested someone. Let's take an extreme crime. Like they say, we arrested someone for murder, and people say, good, somebody should be punished for that murder, right?" And so they'll take the person to trial. And I saw a case like this recently in my town. They take them to trial. They had nothing but circumstantial evidence. They couldn't get a conviction. They got a hung jury. And so then they just take them to trial again, jeopardizing them once again until they can find an angle that they can convict on. And the community says, good riddance, lock him away. And I'm like, but what if he's innocent? All the evidence is circumstantial. And the problem is, I feel like we've come to a place where the heart of our people, Ryan, is we don't really care. It's better that 10 guilty escape than one innocent suffer. The mindset has become, as long as someone is suffering that's not me, I'm satisfied. And that seems to be the heart.
Well, more and more people are getting their opportunity to feel that pain, sadly
Yeah,
enough.
no kidding.
And so
Unfortunately.
so people are getting more and more firsthand experience of the atrocity, and they're learning it also from friends and family and that have had to deal with it, such as us.
And it's spreading.
And so, you know, it's becoming more and more known that there's problems going on, and you know, that's not the standard of liberty. The standard of liberty is that we're free to do whatever we want, so long as we do not do harm to another man's life, liberty, or property. It's not about codes and regulations. You know, it's about freedom. Anyway.
Yeah.
We got a long road in front of us still. So.
God's going to have some serious mercy and change people's hearts en masse, because something I've really realized, I mean, we've been out here telling your guys' story, Jeff Winehouse, Schaefer Cox, you know, all these different people over the past 2 years, Ryan, and the people that aren't engaged, they truly don't believe it, right? They their eyes widen, and we say the Constitution was literally disallowed in the courtroom, and they're so disconnected from it that they don't really grasp it, unfortunately, most of them, until it's them. And I've realized that the problem isn't actually government. The government is the result of the problem, which is the people failing to love their neighbor, failing to care, failing to crave freedom and liberty enough to say, I'm not going to tolerate anything else.
All right. I'm going to take back over Kelli.
So, I'll take it over. All right.
See you, Gavin.
Good talking to you, Ryan. So
Okay,
they're due out anytime, Kelli?
What's that?
You're expecting Ammon out anytime?
We are expecting him out a couple hours ago. Hopefully he's not having any protests with pretrial services. I wouldn't put it past him at all. And yes, we will still defend him even if he is. So yeah, he should have been out here a while ago. So I don't know. I'm going to turn the camera back to the doors, and then I'm going to run in real quick to the room where they, outside the room where they were bringing him, and see if we can get any, information.
You got down there fast.
What's that?
You got down there fast.
I did. I learned about this yesterday, I think at noon, and my flight left at 3:45.
Kelli called me, guys. Kelli called me, and she's like, you know, and I could tell she was freaking out in a good way, and she's all like, they're letting him out, and she's like mumbling, like, I'm trying to get the information, and she's mumbling to herself, like, there's a flight out at 5 p.m., and I could get the flight at 5 p.m., and then I could head down there.
I was, and then I said to Gavin, can you get there? And I was like, oh, wait.
Not right now. Not the best plan right now for the narrative. For me, I'd rather not be there.
Yeah.
But,
so I don't know if you want to keep talking or.
I think I'll go for now.
Is on Another American Hero.
Look at we're in this nice little cafe and we got this banana bread here.
That looks good. Hey Gavin, how do you feel about staying on and maybe talking? Can you stay on and maybe talk with Ken while I run inside?
Yeah, I can stay on for a few minutes. Let's not.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around, and then that way, if they come walking out, if he comes walking out while I'm in there, then
it doesn't take long to get
you're going to go check
Ken
and see. Is that your idea?
Okay. So Ken, if he comes walking out those doors, all you do is hit that, and it reverses the direction of the camera. Can you see it? Can you see it, Ken? Hit it. Hit it so we can make sure you can do it. Oops, no, you didn't do it. You're going to. What?
Don't press end. Don't press end.
I don't know what. Let's see. You know what? Don't do anything. Josh, if he comes walking out that door, hit that button. Okay. So you guys can all talk for a minute. I'll be right back.
There's Josh. How you doing, Josh? And Ken.
Thanks, Kelli.
What's up there, Gav?
I see Josh. I don't see you, Ken. Are you? It must just be. You guys must not be able to see the screen. Oh, there's Ken. Excellent. It looks like
we
it's
tried to
pretty
turn
warm
it sideways, but it wouldn't do it. We tried to turn it sideways earlier, and it just wasn't happening.
Well, that's okay. For the dual screen, it might be better to have it vertical, as much as vertical annoys us photographers. But so, what's the vibe down there, guys?
It's pretty calm. People are around just waiting. You could tell some people are just anxious to see Ammon. He's been I guess in pretrial release, the process, and I guess it takes some time. There are a few courthouse officials out here keeping an eye on things. They came up and questioned me for a little bit, asking my understanding about the trespass. But other than that, I mean, they're just pretty much checking in with everybody, making sure everyone knows the rules, and no, I guess still no flags allowed up here, no signs, no protests.
No flags, no constitutions, nothing like that in an American courtroom. That would be offensive to the judge who's there to railroad you.
That is considered contraband on this foreign land. I'm standing on foreign soil right now. This is not an American property right here. As a matter of fact, a little while ago, one of the securities of the courthouse came up to me and asked, "What is your understanding of the trespass order we gave you?" I responded with, "Well, I don't know. It just depends who wants to put me in the chains and throw me in the cage." I challenged jurisdiction with the lower courts, saying that the lower courts in Metro do not have jurisdiction over this property because it's federal. So I motioned to have the court transferred to federal court. Well, they're saying, no, this is still federal property. And I say, well, what is it? Because a district court judge and a city court judge and the police and the prosecutor all agree that this is city property. Now you guys want me off. It just seems like it just depends what day it is, who wants to take control of my kidnapping and who wants to control the narrative, you know? So whoever it will benefit, the narrative will go to them.
Well, and Josh, you know what I see, and I see this with all of you guys, and those of you that are out, as well as the ones that are still in, and all what they're doing. And what happens is we stand up and we say, wait a minute, no, my rights are A, B, and C, right? Here's my life, liberty, and property. And then there's this huge group of loyalists kind of headed up by people who seem to be commercial provocateurs, right? Professionals. Right. And they get everybody riled up and say the person that's speaking out is the one causing this, right? The person saying, stop beating me, is the one committing the crime. And I see this not just in these cases and in your case, but everywhere. They've done it to the Bundys, they've done it to me, they've done it to you guys. And so it's like we've come to this place where the person who cries, who points and says there's a crime being committed, society turns and says, no, we don't want to know that there's a crime being committed. Therefore, we're going to say you're the one committing the crime because that's easier for us. Ken, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it just seems like in every case, Josh, they demonize you, they demonize Ammon. And it's interesting because I think we really got to start being vigilant, because the same people that'll pretend they're supporting Ammon are demonizing you or me or Kelly or John one day, and then behind the scenes they're actually demonizing Ammon and Ryan at the same time, but they'll do it under different names. And I mean, it's just like there's a concerted effort to destroy people's stand and make it so that we are villains when we say, no, I'm not going to comply with that.
Yeah, and you can feel it. You could feel it, and you know where it's coming from. You know where this evil's coming from. It's you just said it's. I mean, it's an attempt to undermine the movement, undermine the people power. Because really, what this is it's a sad attempt at the government to try to divide us by any means necessary. They're trying to send people to cause trouble, to create division. And that's proof right there. If the government's willing to go that low and pay people to get close to us, to annoy us, to mock us, and to start this rivalry to separate us, I mean, that should tell you that it's dangerous to be right when the government is wrong.
Yeah,
because
it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're willing to go to that length. I mean, they went to Ammon's job, his work, and harass him and tell his employees or his employer what's going on, and I mean, they did it to me. They went to two of my employers, two of my places of work, and now it just they go so far to try to get your loved ones against you, to try to get those around you against you. Then they try to pay people to go in and create this division. They're one way in front of you, smile, happy. They turn around and then they're totally different people. You're talking to two different personalities. And I mean, I think it's not even schizophrenia. I think it's just evil. I think it's just hate.
These people, no, they're our officers and the people running things and the people backing them. They're psychopaths. And it's just remarkable. And Josh, I mean, look, I mean, I'm with you on this, and I've been from the beginning. Never let someone who refuses to stand on the front lines with you tell you that you're doing it wrong and you need to do something different, right? If they're up there and they have the respect of being on the front lines, you can have a conversation about how to improve the message. But we got so many people sitting on the back bleachers mocking and throwing tomatoes from the rear, and then they think that we're supposed to step up. And it's interesting. I mean, it's the same in my case. Because I refuse to surrender to a tyrant judge and a prosecutor who's engaged in criminal conspiracy, because I refuse to say, okay, fine, I'll do it your way. You can force me at gunpoint to unlock my phone so you can root around and or plant evidence. People say I'm retreating from the fight, and I'm sitting here like, no, I'm just starting the fight. I'm just beginning the fight, because our fight begins the day we say no.
Right. Hey, and he who fights and run away lives to fight another day. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to fight.
Sometimes
today.
you have to do a tactical retreat, but I think we look at it the wrong way. I think people say that standing. Somebody trying to say something.
Yeah, I'm trying, but you won't stop.
Oh, there
talking.
she is. Kelly's back. Hi.
Hey. So it's going to be 20 to 30 minutes, and they're not sure if they want to release him out front because of the mob of people.
Oh, the mob, right?
Of course, and the media is here and stuff. So, Morgan is going to come over and say something for just a minute, give us an update on what's going on. So that's why I was interrupting, but now Morgan is standing there talking to somebody.
Well, as soon as Morgan gets here, I'll say hi to Morgan, and then I'll probably sign off for now and let you guys take over, because I need to go eat breakfast, and maybe we'll get back on together later. But people don't need to listen to me all day long. So we'll keep.
Come on, Gavin! Everybody loves listening to you.
Yeah, everybody loves listening to me, right? It's.
Yeah, Morgan's talking to a few people, but he'll be over here in just a second, and he's gonna speak for a minute. Let us know what's going on with Ammon, and.
You know, there was one thing I wanted to say, per our conversation with Josh and all of us, is that people need to start looking around, regardless of whether someone's a political activist, because I'm seeing a pattern of this. Winehouse, they shot him in the head and in the chest. They tried to murder him when he didn't die. They charged him with murder. Look at the Bundys. They charged them with conspiracy because the government conspired against them. And so anytime you see an article and it says, your neighbor was charged with something, assume they're innocent, number one. We've forgotten how to assume innocence in this country. Yep. And number two, assume that whatever they're charged with, the government was somehow engaged with. Because I know it sounds like a generalization, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen it be exactly that. What the government charges the people with is what is the crimes to a letter that the government was engaged in.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Just there you go. Just stand there. Look slightly awkward with a.
Non-professional media here.
Where's John? I haven't seen John today.
John is down standing on the steps. I guess we could go wander around for a minute and take the camera, since we've got at least 20 minutes. But I'll wait till Morgan comes over. He's just talking to somebody, and then he can give us a quick update. And then, we'll walk around, maybe grab some food.
Ryan mentioned something really good, and it was that saying by John Blackstone that says it's better that 10 guilty escape than one innocent suffer. And I think a lot of these things have become tokens for us. People say, if it's our people, we want them free, right? But if it's the person that I hate down the road that robbed me, I want them to be fried. And I think we really have to start getting serious about asking ourselves, am I upholding that principle? Do I really think it's better that 10 guilty escape that one innocent suffer? Because we can't have justice until we get back to those principles.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. People want to hang their neighbor, but then when it comes their turn, they want to scream for justice and mercy, and it just doesn't work that way. Oftentimes, the measure that you use on somebody else ends up being brought back to you someday. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've seen
this. It's kind of chilly out here.
It's not, I can tell you, it's not chilly where I am.
Oh man.
So there are advantages to being in the South, down where you can get giant tacos filled with prawns for 20 pesos.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Robert.
But I want my country to be free.
Thank you for all you guys do.
Well, thanks to you, thank you to you and John, everybody in here. Wow. Isn't it funny? Like you can tell. Oh, is he here?
What do you want me to say hi?
So we got Morgan Philpot here.
Oh, Morgan.
Hello. Hey, Gavin, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's warm down here.
Do you want me to come closer? Is that what you're saying?
Put your nose up right next to the lens there. That's how the professionals do it. They kind of.
I've already been lectured.
Oh, stop.
I've already been lectured by Kelli many times about how I need to appear on camera.
Well, that's because I taught her.
Yes,
how to appear
that's
on
what I said. I was telling him about some different angles he might want to look, but there's times where I would do live streams and then Gavin would send me a message and he'd say, it's not going to kill you to brush your hair before you go live.
I was trying to be encouraging. It wasn't quite that harsh, okay? I think she's done great.
You
but,
did. You
I
said,
do have a master's degree in this, so I get a little
You did, and you also said you might put on just a little bit of makeup too. And I was like, oh my gosh, did you just say that to me?
Well,
hey, we're men. Morgan, we're men. We just say it how it is, right?
That's right. So Morgan will give us a quick update maybe of what pretrial services is telling him on a timeline and anything else.
Kelly, I'm going to hop off here because I got the family waiting. I'm going to go have some breakfast. I'll let Morgan give an update. Good to see you, Morgan, and I'll stay tuned to what's going on there, okay?
All right, thanks,
Gavin.
Good
to see you.
All right, peace, guys.
For those of you who don't know, this is Morgan Philpot, Ammon Bundy's attorney for the not guilty verdict down in Oregon, and he also helped Jeanette Finicum get her cows back on the land. Praise God for that. So Morgan is in this fight, and he's here for the right reasons, and so thank you to everybody who supported him. And Rick Kerber, they're a great team together, and there you go.
So I just came out just a little bit ago. Ammon is still in pretrial services. He'll be there for about another 20 to 30 minutes, they're saying, and then we're not sure where they're gonna bring him. Could be there's a couple exits here, but we should see him in about 20 to 30.
And then is there anything about like his release conditions? People are asking, does he have to go to a halfway house? Is he getting to walk free? What's going on?
No halfway house, and he can't necessarily walk free. He's got to be under pretty strict house detention. The judge said for at least the next week. So, but if Ryan Bundy's any sign of things to come, we may see a loosening of those restrictions based upon meeting the conditions of release at this point in time.
And have you heard or not if the other guys have officially filed their motions for release from the last trial? Have those come out and been public yet, or nothing yet?
I don't know if they're public. I've heard some rumblings, but I don't know if they're true.
Okay, but they won't be forgotten, and their releases are top priority. People are concerned.
Yeah.
They'll be.
My power in that area is limited.
Yep. All right, so thank you, Morgan.
I'm gonna go back in.
All right, we'll be out here waiting. So 20 to 30 minutes, and that was maybe, 10 minutes ago when he first came out from inside and had that. So I don't know. I guess we stay live and wait it out. I guess I could walk around and maybe interview a couple people and ask them what they think of stuff that's going on. You guys want me to do that? What should I do? Tell me what to do. We just stand with it face to the door. We could walk around and talk to some peeps. Oh, here comes Sarah. Maybe Sarah will come and talk to us. And oh, she's coming with her blankie. That means it might be nap time. Sarah literally drove all night long. For those of you just tuning in, Sarah Redbuck drove all night long with Ammon and Lisa's 6 kids in the car with their other awesome friend Kelli Inman from Idaho. You want to come over here just for a second?
Let's bring it over here.
What's up?
Actually, I do have something to say.
Yes, of course you do.
So, I am looking really good.
Here, go ahead and talk. There you go. Right there. Oh, sorry. I better.
So I just got a text from Lisa. They're still waiting to see Ammon. He has not even seen his kids or her yet. And pretrial release office just asked Lisa to please keep her kids quiet because they've been getting complaints.
Goodness. Maybe if they hurried up and released him like they said 2 hours ago they were just getting ready to do, then they wouldn't be getting complaints.
Well, yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
So he's with pretrial services for probably another 15 minutes.
They're dragging it out, and they probably will release him on the other side of the building and then watch us up there run to hurry and try to get over there. Like with Ryan.
Yeah, they did.
Oh well.
They did. They told us Ryan would be released out back, and then they actually released him out front, and so Angie and all of us had to run around to this side of the building, and
but it's okay. We are so excited.
So excited. Sister Grift arrived 1 and 2. We're so excited.
Cheerleaders. What are we called?
Pom-Pom Patriots.
Pom-Pom Patriots.
I've heard that I'm recently now being referred to as the Portland Patriot Princess.
Oh,
I kind of liked it. I thought Portland Patriot Princess.
That doesn't.
It's fitting. I don't know. It's good. I can do that.
It's
Whatever.
fitting.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe we go around and interview people, since we probably have 15 minutes and we don't know how long they're going to let them stay in there with the family. It sounds like it's probably going to be rushed actually through pretty quickly. They were saying so.
Yeah. All right, Kelly, you're the professional at this.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
The professional. I'm the highly trained, highly paid. Okay, let's see if this is easy to carry, and I'll twist it and try not to go too far because I don't want to be down on the steps when he comes walking out, but we probably have a good 15 minutes. Let's see.
While you were talking.
Let's see if we can do this. Love that title. Portland Patriot Princess. Kelli Stewart here, Portland Patriot Princess, bringing you the news from Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, let's see if I can tip this. It's kind of hard. Let's see if anybody wants to say anything.
No, we're not.
Do you guys want to talk to our 600 viewers? They said no. They said no. Do you guys want to say anything?
Let him go.
Let him go already. Aunt Margaret says let him go, but not the way they let her go, which was throwing her to the ground. So don't let him go that way. What do you guys want to say? What are you happy about? Why are you happy Ammon's getting out? What? So do you guys want to say your names or no? Just Bundys.
Just Bundy.
Just Bundy kids. Just they have an awesome life. Bundy kids. Wonderful family, good people. Bundy kids. Do you want to say anything?
Pose up mom again.
So it's good to be out here, good people, everybody hanging out and just waiting for the release. You want to say anything? Yeah. I'm sure they're tired of listening to me.
Nobody's tired of listening to you, Kelli. You do an awesome
You just watch who you say that around. Somebody's going to laugh at you.
I just want everybody to know that there is a group of people in Idaho. There's about, I don't know, 15 or 20 of them, that every day at noon, their time, they get together and pray for the Bundys. They have literally given thousands of dollars to the Bundys to help fight this cause.
So awesome.
And every Thursday, in fact, I got a call as I was coming down this morning. Every Thursday, they call me and want an update. And
that's
and
so
I can
awesome.
give an update if I was to get that from you guys.
That's awesome.
But they are awesome, and they are following and praying constantly. And the thing that's really fun is that they've written to all of the prisoners. They have written to the President of the United States, to Jeff Sessions. They have written every single congressman. It's not just Idaho, Nevada, every congressman in the United States. They have written them.
That's so awesome.
They're being diligent. And this morning we discussed the fact that even when this is over and we come off conquerors and win, it's not over.
No.
This nation still has a long way to go to get back on track, and it's going to take our due diligence continually in order to win this battle.
Yep.
So,
do you want to say your name on camera?
I'm Patricia Kent from St. George. Good friends of Ammon Bundy and Shauna Cox. I got involved in this because it's Shauna's fault.
A lot is Shauna's fault. She's gotten a lot of people involved.
I was actually supposed to go to Oregon with Shauna, and the day before we were to leave, I fell, and I literally could not move, and I felt so guilty, and I felt awful. And when they got up, I don't know if I should say this, when we got up there, or when they got up there, and they started getting these documents, Shauna was emailing them to me.
There was a lot of good things that could have come out of that had the right people actually looked at the truth that was being shown and the media not portrayed them as domestic terrorists. Had they said these people came in to expose corruption, and the people actually looked at the corruption that was going on, but praise God for her acquittal in that.
I had those documents helped immensely in the trial because once they were arrested, everything on the computers was gone.
Oh, right. So it was all their work she was sending you. Yeah. Yeah, that she was working. That's awesome.
But anyway,
awesome.
It's a fight we're fighting.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And today isn't justice. Ammon's always saying that. This isn't justice being released. If somebody is abusing you and they stop, that doesn't mean justice was served. That means they stopped abusing you.
And any of you who are out there following this, all I can say to you is if you haven't read the Constitution, repent and read it, and then study it, and then uphold it.
Yeah.
The reason we're in the mess we're in is because we haven't known the Constitution, and those that do haven't oftentimes stood up for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I went in the Army in 1976, and I took the oath to uphold the Constitution. I had not read it, but I know it now.
And you're here defending it now.
And I'm defending it now, and it's not good enough just to have it or to say, this is our law. We need to know it inside and out, and we need to stand.
And defend it.
It does matter how you stand.
It does. And you do whatever it takes.
That's exactly right.
It's awesome. All right. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing. All right, we'll go walk around now and see anybody else wants to say anything. No, you.
Kelly, first time I've seen you.
Good morning,
Hey.
Mark. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
How's it going?
Great. Waiting patiently.
Just waiting. Yeah, we're maybe down to 10 minutes now, and then sounds like just a few minutes. Yeah, it's probably about 10 minutes, and then just a few minutes of them in the room, and then they'll be kicking them all out. Hopefully they'll send them out the front door. Goodness. So here's people down on the streets. Hello. Oh, good. Thanks for watching it. Let's see. Come down here and talk to some people, and then we'll go back up, set up the camera, and wait at the steps or at the doors. Got Ryan down here visiting with people and the kids, and David Fleeman, Neil Wampler. Good people. Let's see. Let's get John to talk for a minute. John's cold.
Sounds like you've done fire suppression.
Stand in the sun. All right, we bring you now John Lamb from Montana. I do. That would be awesome. Hi, sweeties. So we got John Lamb here. We're just hanging out, waiting. I thought of cutting this off, but people are saying, no, don't cut it off. So John, give us a live update. All right, John doesn't feel good. Okay, so never mind. Pray for John.
Pray for John.
Let's pray for John right now. Gina, can we pray for him right now?
Lord, we just lift up. Lord, we lift up John to you right now, God. We just pray for healing over him. God, we pray you cover him with the blood of Jesus from the top of his head to the soles of his toes. Put protection around him, God, and just bless him, heal his body, bless him as he travels, and just pray that you provide nourishment to his body, and just help him to get through the next few hours until he can rest and recover quickly. Thank you for this servant. Thank you for all of his hard work. Open up the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing so great.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Gina. Gina, do you have anything you want to say before we head back up?
We've just been out here waiting for been about 2.5 hours now. When Ryan Bundy was remarking that it's taking much longer than it did when he was released. So who knows what's going on in there? You know, they usually have to fit the ankle monitor on them, go over all the instructions for the pretrial release, have them sign an agreement. I'm not sure what else they could possibly be doing, but it's okay. He's getting out, so we'll wait as long as it takes. We're thrilled that he's finally being released, and we'll be even more thrilled when we're here celebrating not guilty verdicts.
Not guilty, yep.
So
hoping more will be released soon.
Appreciate everyone waiting with us, anticipating, and I'm sure it's better just watching Kelli's stream than staring at a blank screen. So I understand being home like you saying, please don't turn it off. So
yeah, we don't feel like we're saying much.
We're waiting for the big Ammon Hug Fest to begin, and he's got a lot of family up at the top of the steps there waiting. So
Yep.
Appreciate everyone's support.
All right, thanks, Gina. Well, maybe I'll just kind of set it up here for a minute so that I can walk away from the camera for a second, if that's okay, guys, so I can go talk to a few people. Here, we'll leave it over here on Ryan Bundy and some of the kids playing. Okay, I'll be back in just a quick second, guys. All right, we're gonna head back up, guys. Hey guys, that was Jeff Winehouse I'm missing a call from. So to all of you guys who take his calls, can you please try to grab his call, Julie or Gavin? So that means he's out and trying to make calls right now. But I'm going to keep the live stream going instead of answering it. So please let him know, whoever answers a call from Jeff Winehouse, that we love him and we're out here in Nevada waiting for Ammon. Wendy, do you want to say anything?
Hello. Not really. I hate being on camera.
I do too. Come on.
You do not.
D. Yes, I do.
Good day.
It's a good day.
Good day. Happy day.
Yeah. What do you think, D? You think they're all gonna get released soon?
I think everything's going to be done by Monday. I think so.
You think we'll?
I think there's a lot in the works right now. There's got to be.
There's got to be. Do you think we're gonna get any justice for Greg Burleson and Todd?
I think they would have to. You know, if she came back with as mad as I heard she was, that there's been some injustice here.
Yeah,
to do
those,
something.
their attorneys, the guys that are still out there, their attorneys have to speak up now and say, hey, wait a minute. Then they all need to be on a pretrial release. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it really, the squeaky wheel gets the grease thing in court is so
Yes,
true.
yes.
When the attorneys just submit, when she says no, then that's what happens. When they come back and go, but wait, what about this? You missed this. And then she's like, oh, okay, I did. And
then they start bringing up all the case law. No, this has happened before, and this is what was decided by the courts. So she can't totally go.
Well, everything they were convicted on has now been come to light in this trial. So
yeah.
Yes.
They're going to have to go back.
Yeah.
Lies.
People keep asking about what does this mean for all the guys who pled out, but like Ryan Bundy said earlier, it's really difficult when you admit guilt to something to get any justice at that point. So I don't know. I mean, they definitely admitted guilt though under extreme duress.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe they'll.
I mean, you can get court orders vacated, so it seems like you could get judgments like that vacated.
One of the attorneys was saying that just because they have released these guys because their detainment was on false evidence, that could help the plea deals, because those plea deals were made by people who had not been granted release. So they're being held in prison. So even though they admitted guilt, they had been denied pretrial release, which we have now learned that was wrong, and they should have been released. And had they been released, they might have just gone home and prepared for their trial. Yeah, we were kind of wondering if things were getting held up for Dan. One of the marshals had said, "Where's Dan Hill?" And I was waiting on him. So we've got Ryan Payne's attorney there, who's been doing an awesome job representing the guys and representing not just Ryan Payne, but also all of them. They've been an incredible unit working together. It's Ryan Payne's attorney, and he has been killer in the courtroom. We're very thankful for all of your work representing Ryan. You've done well.
Yeah, so
I'm going to set this up for a minute, guys, so I can get some information here that's going on with information maybe about Ryan. We're just going to set this up here for a second. Here he comes, guys. Ammon Bundy. Here they come. Ammon Bundy. Ammon Bundy. We love you, Ammon!
Oh. Yay! Woo! Finally!
2 years as a political prisoner. There's his legal team behind him.
We have a Heavenly Father that loves us. Look at this. There's some
Cannon.
sisters.
Cannon, wait for mommy, okay? We're going to take our turn.
Oh, love and love.
Hold his babies.
Right here, come here. TC loves you, Ammon. I'm getting all kinds of I love you, love you, love you.
He made it through the Goblin City.
No.
To freedom.
Oh.
Well, temporary freedom.
Yes. Get him a hug, bud. Look at there's these babies.
I think he's double. Twice as tall.
There's possibly, next to Cliven Bundy, this is possibly the most stubborn cowboy in United States of America right now.
We raised them good.
Man of great courage. Great dedication.
Look at you.
Ammon Bundy.
Oh, there's good boys.
Channel 3 here. He's not quite so scary after
Lisa,
all,
you
is he?
kids, get your kids around. We want to take some pictures, live pictures of all the kids.
Tara Lee. Here goes your helicopter.
So this
Ammon Bundy.
There's his other baby. Oh my goodness. I can't even express the joy I'm feeling.
How do you feel, Ammon?
Oh, I waited for 2 years for this.
So these his parents.
Wake up, America. This is what our government does to great family men.
So happy for you, Lisa. Let's see what.
Babies, you got all of them.
Let's get their babies. Family picture.
Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez.
Took it around.
Someone keep an eye on that.
Bag?
Yeah.
Is that his bag?
That's his bag.
Okay, I got it. Not guilty! There's Ryan and Ammon. It's a good day. I've got his bag. What could possibly be in the bag? Could you guard his bag for me so I can keep it?
Yeah, I got his now.
Okay, thanks.
American hero.
Babies of Neil. His babies. Boy, he's half the size he was when he went in.
I didn't think I'd ever get to see you.
This is Ken Rhodes.
One step at a time.
Step at a time. Those babies. America, this is what we allowed to happen for 2 years. 2 years. Denied bail, denied a speedy trial, denied his right to properly defend himself. We've had to fight tooth and nail for this man and his family. Stand right in front of the media because we are the media, right? Look at his son crying. The other side of the glass. The other side of the glass. Let's do a group picture with the supporters, okay? Can we get down here? There's the media that's falsified information about this man from the beginning and not told the correct story. These are called vultures that come in now.
It's the great things that we enjoy every day as Americans. And,
these vultures.
America's always been an example of freedom.
Liars.
An example of family, an example of what's good in this world. And really, all that my family's ever tried to do is just promote that and to try to communicate it. We haven't always been the best at it. And struggle. We're just human, I guess. But that's what this is all about. It's about people, and about life, and about trying to do the best we can to promote and benefit the enjoyment of life. And that's all we've tried to do.
How do you feel about your dad's decision to stay?
You know, I actually, I can't speak for my dad, but I can say that I understand it. I understand his desire to stay here, to breathe human things here. There's still a lot of people that are incarcerated right now. He feels a little bit of responsibility for them. He wants to make sure they're not forgotten. He wants to make sure that they get out as well. And they get to their families and they have these reunions like this. And I understand that. I understand that he wants to go home to his family, to the ranch. And so I respect it. I believe I understand it.
Can you tell us the reasons why the judge made the decision?
I can't fully tell you the reasons why. There's been still hearings and so forth that I wouldn't want to speak about. But I think she said it best right after she released us, and that was that the evidence that the government's been producing against them in trial has not been coming forth the way that they have, I guess, presented it. And she is seeing that, and she decided in the effort of justice to release it. And we've known that that was always going to be the case, but we suffered for 2 years trying to tell the world that what happened there was not what the government's been saying. And we're going to continue to show that in the courtroom, that what we did was right, what we we did was, according to our rights, and more Americans need to do the same thing. And,
how difficult was your time in jail? You had a lot of issues there. How difficult was that?
It was very difficult. I think I'll be the first to admit I'm not a very good prisoner, and I felt, and as well as others, not just me, that we were innocent and that we were not afforded the presumption of innocence. And if we look at the Bill of Rights, I think almost half of them are there saying to protect the accused. The accused has a right to a fair and speedy trial. The accused has a right to counsel. The accused has a right to call witnesses in their defense. And they were put in there for a reason. They were put in there to protect the accused. And I think maybe we've forgotten that a little bit, because there's a tremendous amount of people that are being accused and incarcerated, separated from their families. I mean, when I went in, this little guy was 11 months old. And I've missed 2 years of his life. I have the great opportunity to get to know him again. But I don't believe that that's the way it's supposed to be. I believe that we're supposed to be pursuing innocent first. And but we all learn too. We all make mistakes. And that's just where we're at.
Mr. Bundy, you said a little earlier you're hoping more Americans will do the right thing. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is identify their rights and then stand up for them. Recognize what they are. Recognize that we do have a right to assemble, peacefully assemble, and to grieve our government. Recognize that government does make mistakes, and it's a duty of the people to stand up to that peacefully and say, no more, or don't do that. That is our duty. If we don't, we will lose them. History proves that. And that's what I mean.
Now, the government has, in their case, they're saying that you did not impeach the president in 2014 or something. How are you going to refute that in court?
Well, I think the trial will show itself that.
Show up and you'll hear.
I'm not going to go into the details about it, but it certainly, it already is. I'm standing out here, and I don't think I would be if the evidence wasn't proving that we were at least somewhat less innocent than what they thought last week we were. And so there we are.
And the jury probably shouldn't or doesn't know that you've been released because they weren't there when the judge made that decision. What do you think your release says about the way the trial is going? And what are you planning on wearing when you're back in court?
Well, I think, again, just by being here, and we have to, I want to give Judge Navarro some credit here, in the sense that, we might dispute or disagree about the subject matter, jurisdiction, and all of that, but she saw something, and she did with her power what she had authority to do, and I'm standing here because of that. And I want to recognize that was goodness of her to do that. And I think it was fair. She wasn't favoring us or favoring somebody else. She was doing her job. And I think because of that, it shows where the evidence is taking this case and what the truth is. And as far as what I'm going to wear, I'll wear what I wear to church before I go into prison. So, which is, I like what he's wearing there, my cowboy boots, if I can get away with it.
Free the Hammonds!
All right, I'm making my attorney nervous, so we gotta go.
Lisa, could we do one group photo like we did with Ryan? Yeah, look for it. Guys, can we come in for a group photo with supporters and family? Stand quickly around Ammon. Ammon, we're going to get one group picture. Ammon, can we do a family and a group of supporter for the media to see who stood behind you? Come on, guys, for a family photo and a... Yeah, maybe if we could get some text in.
I'm gonna set this up so we can do a picture.
Right here, standing next to me, is my representative from Idaho.
Woo!
Thank you, Dorothy.
Go
right.
Boise State.
Just kidding. We stand together for one group supporter picture. Do you guys want to do that? Should we do a supporter picture with family and Elias Ammon Bundy.
Bowen. 2 years old. Bowen, and this is Hayden. This is Hallie. Hallie who? This is Brinkley. And this is Amy. And I've taught a lot about them. And this is my sweet wife, Lisa. Yep, I've cried a lot of tears.
Holly, scoot in just a little bit closer.
I also need to recognize Dan, my attorney Dan Hill. Dan is you might not like me saying this, but Dan is the little engine that cooks.
Absolutely. Woo!
He's a young attorney, but he is a good attorney. And he cares. He truly cares about his clients. And we don't hold his youth against him.
Even if she does.
Yeah, that's right. Love you all, you know, not just your dad.
Sending kisses from TC and all of us.
Okay, no, I guess we're not going to do a group picture. Okay, so I think we're going to...
Little engine that could.
Okay, I need to go find his bags.
Where's Sarah? She's got the suitcase.
I...
Oh, there she is. Sarah.
Wow, I'm sad we didn't do a supporter picture. The supporters really appreciate that. Hey! It doesn't get any better than this. For a lot of us, part of our job is done.
I have the keys, so he's not going anywhere until we all get a picture.
Why? Yeah.
I have his keys, so he's not going anywhere until we all get a picture.
Can you stop? Why me? I was looking for you guys.
Right, maybe right here.
Okay. Hey, Ammon. Hang on. Morgan, can we get one picture when he's done with you?
Thank you. Daddy's gonna love that.
Okay.
You're
So.
family and you'll never get away from us. We can feed you good food. That's something we can do.
His lawyer's right here.
Yeah, I'm like, Morgan. You don't know.
Okay, we're gonna get a picture of Morgan and Ammon together, please.
Lisa, turn around. They're buying it.
There we go.
You're gonna be in here too, I guess.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Dan, pop out that way. There we go. I'll be the bossy one.
So Sarah has your keys, and she said you're not leaving until we get a group picture. So let's do a group picture. Everybody get around behind Ammon for a group picture. I'll even take it. You actually have a good camera. Lisa, Sarah, the picture that you were saying you weren't going to give up keys for until it happened. Group picture. Entire group picture. Come on, guys. Look at this great group.
Little ones up front. Lots of little ones up front. All right. Okay, let me see you guys. All right, break. Let's go.
And break.
Somebody else want to say it? They want that. I will. I can't keep it up. I can't keep it up.
Aunt Lily. These kids cannot get enough. This awesome crowd of people. John.
Oh, where's go with Sarah. Okay, we'll go with Sarah. It's northeast.
Hey! Well, when you do things that gains worldwide attention.
I said nice paparazzi. Yeah. I'm trying to get back on live. Okay, do you guys say crooked?
Get out to some side.
I know most
Yeah.
crooked.
Crooked.
When I say crooked. Well, Travis used to trying to get some. You're fine. I'm like trying to get to my vehicle.
John heads home today, so it's a good day for John. He's not feeling good. So I did hear that there is a possibility they could release Ryan Payne today if Judge Brown signs the order for his release. It's not overly likely, but it could happen. And then if not today, then it's a very good chance tomorrow, as long as he's facing a max of 44 months in Oregon. That's why they're contemplating not releasing him. Look at this great mob of people. And so he hasn't served 44 months. He's not sentenced to that, but he could get that much in Oregon. So that's why Judge Brown has to sign off on it. Judge Brown is being incredibly gracious right now. She's about to retire. And I think she's going to sign it. No problems is my personal feeling. And if that's the case, his house is lined up that he can go to. It's not a halfway house. It's a supporter's house here in Vegas. So Ryan Payne could be getting released today or tomorrow, but we don't have any confirmation yet until Judge Brown signs that order for his release. And then it sounds like things are already in the works for the next group. Look at that, Ammon Bundy coming back to our little car area. It's Neil Wampler. Apparently there was limo did not come back today that was here yesterday for him. That's okay. He's gonna hop in with his family.
Right up there, right next to it.
It's David Fleeman getting choked up while he shakes Ammon's hand. Hero to hero.
We don't have a red one. You guys can ride with us if you want. We have room for 2 more. Because Mom is going to go visit Grandpa all the way to Toronto. Our dad was supposed to take us home, but he's going to meetings with Shauna. We'll be back home later today. And he already left. He already left us.
Four of you? Yeah. See it. I'm going home.
Good man right here. Good supporter.
These whiskers will come off when all those guys are done.
Oh, really? Is that what you're doing?
That's what the deal is, yeah. Everybody hates them. And I said, well, I got to stay.
Quick question of all them boxes with your stuff from which comes with you now and which goes home?
We'll just
The
get
only
it.
thing is the shoe box we need to return it because the shoes are not the right shoes.
Okay.
Other than that, they
So
can go
Brianna, everything go home. You have no legal.
Oh no, I got some pre-trial stuff I better take with me.
Right. So
You can swim? You can
So here, Ann, let's just look at this real quick.
I'm so glad that baby is so happy to see him. I thought you might be shy. Yeah, she took her a few days. It's great to see it again. I want to tell Mel and thank you and all those other boys here.
So the rest of this goes back to Idaho.
Thank you, Dan.
Huh?
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Been the little firecracker in there that we needed. Without Dan, Morgan and Rick would not have been able to come in and do everything they've done.
She's is going to be a little jealous.
Oh,
of this
She's is going to be. She's
So
this.
funny.
This is the face to watch.
Hey Lisa, why are you so happy?
She's crying again.
Oh. Hey, look right there, Emily.
Oh, the sun is on me.
It's a beautiful day. You feel that fresh air? Yeah. Sunshine.
It's like if all these people would get away from me, I could smell it.
Thank you for sharing.
I miss you. My wife so much.
Come back.
Still got about 1,200 people watching. That's better than Channel 3 or Channel 8's ever gotten out here, right? We are the media.
How many people are watching John's video?
I included his in my numbers. So we're both live.
Mommy left me to try.
Hold the camera even if your hand shakes.
Oh.
All right.
Can we get a picture with Mom and your sisters? And another hug?
Hey!
Hannah.
Hannah, we're taking a picture with sisters. Brianna, you in?
I know. We only get seconds. Sorry.
Okay, I'm taking it right here.
Look at Charlie.
The sun in your eyes. Hayden, pop out this way, buddy. There we go. And Ivana this way. There we go. Where's Emery?
Emery.
Okay, we got all of them now?
I think so.
Right, Charlie.
4, 5, 6.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Love you, Ammon. Love
Love
you.
you.
Oh, you beautiful babies. Hey, family, I want you to know that all of your families want to be here. Okay? She loves you and she wants you all to be here. Yeah. Send her back.
It's a good day, America. This isn't justice, but it's a good day.
No, I'll tell you the first time I saw him. That I remember was down in that walk. And had blood on his face. He was one of those that came down and crossed that barbed wire fence and he got caught in that fence. So he says, I'm here. Anyway, that was the first time I got to know him. Yeah, still around. I'm right on that, right? Yeah, I feel that dirty funny thing. Yeah.
And
he had blood on his face.
and it's caught on video.
Face, but he was there. He was down there in the bottom of that wall.
We have proof on video.
Seriously, the best of luck. I don't know. We're gonna beat him. We're gonna win. Hey Lisa, it's time to quit crying now. We got it.
Well, I know. I cry whether I'm happy or sad or stressed or, I just cry. It just comes out that way.
All right.
So you guys better will.
I get some great shots at the back of your head. Just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just teasing.
Whatever.
Where is Sarah going to go with you?
Right, Sarah?
What?
We're running over to Dorothy's place with the kids.
To the hotel?
Huh?
To the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have the key.
I don't
Who
have
has
a
the key?
But we have a place that someone got us.
Oh, we have a. Oh, okay. Well, whatever you're more comfortable with.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you, Evan. Love you.
Love you, Ammon.
She's got so but
Hey, look who showed up over there. That's awesome.
Yes. Sean.
that's where I'm seeing.
Sarah. She got her picture she wanted.
Al? Let me get a picture with you again.
This is Lisa's parents.
This is Dan's son.
Yeah, I don't, as a...
It's not as skinny as I thought it'd be. Still an animal.
Here, okay.
Will you take a picture?
Just like this.
This is absolutely amazing, you guys.
One more, Emma. Wait.
Oh yeah! Hey, where's Brian?
Ryan had to leave. He had a meeting.
Morgan. Hey, and Morgan.
I'm sorry.
You might actually be speechless.
Yeah, come on. Fine. Come on, Hayden. Where's Hallie? Who's over there, Hallie? Emery, get in the front.
Yeah, get the.
There you go.
Get the picture.
There we go. Hey, Lion. Good season.
People don't realize the sacrifices that Morgan and Rick and all that did. And Marcus Mumford, they're all suffering because of that. They came to help me.
No, actually, I just
We need to help her.
I think we've stared at him long enough. Yeah, let's let him get home. It's been 2 years waiting for his baby. Let him go. You guys can see him another day. I was getting mad at Chris. I was going to go stay with him. I hope I did.
It was upside down.
That's what I enjoyed the family. They didn't make them what they didn't make them. Yeah. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? No,
Okay, I'm going to get all the kids and round them up.
Those kids are gonna throw.
Oh, small boy, come on. Hey, grab all your siblings, kid. Let's let your mommy and daddy get settled in. Come on. Let's go, kids.
I can't say enough about Kelli. I don't even know if I can even start. Come back.
Okay, we'll wait to hear from you. Let me get me soon.
Love you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your day.
Love you.
Love you.
Well, I'm getting through.
Good day.
It's a good day.
Bye, Kelli.
have fun, Lisa.
Oh my god, gee. I just...
Huh?
Bye, John.
Thank you guys.
I bet half of them.
By far the
Oh, she's gonna ride with them. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna sign this off so I can go and be a part. I hope you guys have gotten to feel like you're a part of this, because I know it's a special day and it's hard for many of you who can't be here, and I know how much I've loved the live streams when I'm not here and I can watch John's, and so I'm signing off. Ammon and Lisa Bundy leaving together. God bless you guys.